All right, what is up, everybody? I hope you all are having a great Wednesday and a great week in general. I hope you all had a relaxing Labor Day weekend. I know I did. I went to see Jaws last night in IMAX 50th anniversary. That was fucking awesome. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's get into today's episode. Now, I will acknowledge one point. I know you probably clicked on this video going, I don't think that this game really needs a preview. And you have a good point there, but today's video isn't really going to be mostly about actually previewing the matchup of, if you live under a rock, the Ohio State Buckeyes versus the Grambling Tigers out of, where is Grambling? Let me look this up real quick. I actually do not know where Grambling is from. Excuse me. Louisiana. Wow, I did not expect that. Louisiana. Out of Louisiana, and okay, this is obviously going to be a blowout, but again, that's not really what today's episode is really focused on, despite the title. It's more focused on what I want to see out of Ohio State coming up this week. Because last week against Texas was a great game. Obviously, it went great for us. But again, there was like there isn't any big game. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, and still a lot of things you want to see from this team that I'm very excited to see. So let's just get right into it real quick. This video shouldn't be too long today, but we'll see. So the first thing I want to talk about is obviously. If you watched my preview of the review of the Texas game the other day, you noticed that I saw some pretty, I guess, pessimistic things from the run game. I think that the run game was very weak, and again, I acknowledge that it's a little bit of an unfair comparison because I'm comparing it to last year where we had Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, the best running back duo in the entire country. So obviously, my expectations maybe are a little bit saturated, but it was definitely not the outcome we wanted to see in terms of the run game last week. I think C.J. Donaldson looked very good, despite him not doing a whole lot. But I also think that James Peoples didn't look now. And I hate to be all negative on here, but I don't think James Peoples was definitely somebody last week that I was very pessimistic about. With C.J. Donaldson, again, he definitely got limited a good bit. Don't get that wrong at all, but he still looked like he looked like a bruiser. He looked like he had an explosive aspect to him, but James Peoples just looked very, very doled out. He did not look like he had much in the tank. And again, it's first game of the year against number one team in the country. I'm not gonna sit here and make wholesale judgments on him, but again, it wasn't too promising from last week. So I definitely like to see a very run heavy game this week, especially because when you're at home again against a shitty team like Grambling, it's almost, I guess, free reign to just basically fuck with the run game the entire game. So I'm very excited for that. Anyways, next order of business, Keenholes and Tavian St. Clair is what I have written in my notes here. So obviously Julian Sain I would assume will make the start at the beginning of the game. But again, judging common sense here, I think that this game will probably end up devolving into a pretty big blowout. So we'll likely see Luke Keenholes or Tavian St. Clair, which I'm very excited to see. Again, not too much to say about this. I'm just very excited to see them too. I think that I forget if has Tavian St. Clair really even played yet? Like even played at any period of time yet? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if, but especially Luke Keenholes, again, a guy who stayed at Ohio State. I thought he was going to transfer, but he stayed and was in that quarterback battle with Julian Sain. He did end up losing as we expected. But again, I have a lot of respect for him. I honestly am my respect for him honestly stems from the fact that he stayed in the first place. I would have never done that, but I respect the loyalty. But yeah, also something I wanted to point out that I thought was interesting about this game is, as Ohio State fans, I think these last, it's September now, National Championship, and January, the past 10 months, right? The entire thing has been kind of a whirlwind for Ohio State. Not including the offseason, but again, we had obviously our embarrassing loss against Michigan, then we had Tennessee, Oregon, then Texas, then Notre Dame, the national championship, and then Texas again on the first week of the year. So I feel like it's been such a long time since Ohio State fans we've collectively had a break. So I'm almost excited for this game just because it's the first time in so long. I feel like I can walk into an Ohio State game with ease, like not feeling like we might lose or our season might end here. So again, it is a pretty funny, I guess, a real feeling that Ohio State will be finally playing a game that isn't the fucking weight of the world on our shoulders. But anyways, yeah, I'm excited for that. And I guess the last thing I want to touch on was defensively. So I think that last week, again, defensively the entire game, like I said a million times before, the entire game last week was optimistic. It was awesome. But especially the defense. The defense looked freaking stellar last week. That was incredible. That was awesome. Matt Patricia looked great. Again, I am a Detroit Lions fan, so I do have a little bit of, I guess, an internal negative bias towards Matt Patricia because of what he put me through for about 5 years in Detroit. But again, Matt Patricia looked great. He looked like he had a real handle on that defense last weekend, and I'm very excited to see what he does this week. I think it was, I forget who was saying it, but he was saying that Matt Patricia, the way that he was running his defense, where he, I forget what it's probably really a really simple name that I'm not even thinking of, but he was making it hard for Arch Manning, especially somebody who was in his first big start. He was making it difficult for Arch Manning to read the pre-snap defense because his pre-snap defense would be different from the defense that was actually being ran. So he would almost flip the defense like that, and I thought that's fucking awesome, obviously, if you can basically nullify the quarterback from knowing what your defense is going to do. But again, so creativity, things like that, just creativity from Matt Patricia, I'm very excited to see. Just this defense in general, man. It's so, oh my gosh. Just beautiful. Again, Caleb Downs, obviously want to see more. Igbinosin, all those guys, they all look great. I'm so excited to see how they play this week against a shitty team. And the absolute probably bloodbath that's about to happen in Ohio Stadium this weekend in the shoe, baby. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Again, it's against a FCS school. This is not going to be a very competitive game. So again, just wanted to go over a few things that I'd be excited to see this week. But besides that, that's kind of it. I guess enjoyed this shorter episode today. I hope you guys have a great week, great rest of your week, a great weekend, and I will probably make another video before the game, but we'll see. So that'll be it for today. See you guys later. Peace out.